Right, here we go. Actually on time for once. Yeah, no, just in time and no more. We are all here. Everyone is good to go, I believe. David's just sorting out some stuff router-wise for UDP, for the VoIP over Discord, to kind of sort out the lag spikes that he's been suffering from recently. Some kind of confliction when more than one person's talking at once. So he's going to get that sorted. If it's not sorted already, it will be sorted during the session. But we are ready to just get straight back into things. So let's swap over. Let's fix the Discord, because I didn't do that already because I'm an idiot. Super professional DM right here, let me tell you. There, that'll do. Cool. Right, let's get to it. Hey guys.
Hello.
So what do you mean? What do you mean we can't have Christmas?
The Grinch said no.
Ah!
I mean that you're just not getting a holiday special because
can it be 100 subscriber goal?
No.
Aw.
It can't be any goal. Now. Be sad. You're not getting a Christmas special. Bah humbug.
Well, why can't we all just sit around in fluffy sweaters and drink hot cocoa in character?
Yeah, that works.
You know what?
I mean,
you know, a nice fireplace.
Here's the thing. Technically speaking, on like the week before or the week after Christmas, because it's Christmas on Wednesday, I believe. Technically speaking, you could force a Christmas special onto me if you did exactly that. Just sat about in a tavern, sharing stories, drinking like cocoa, as you Yanks call it.
Well, we also have to sit around in big fluffy sweaters.
Yeah.
But also, anytime Scott could set the building on fire.
I mean,
let's not forget that. I mean, it would ruin Christmas.
Technically, yes, but I wouldn't do that. But I mean, if I don't want to do a Christmas special, you guys can definitely force one upon me.
Well, you guys. Force Christmas, got it.
Yes.
Anyway.
So yeah, anyway, guys, you know when you wake up from a blackout and you just stood in a house you've never seen before in front of a dead rat 4 times your size and have no idea what the hell happened?
We're about to get into that, so don't you worry. So last week when we played, you guys had woken up in the Broken Candle, or the inn that you'd stayed in within Stillman. Stillman, sorry, Westrun. Getting a little bit too far behind now. You had made plans to carry out the contract that you had taken to Alix. She'd sent your details down, up, to the northeast to the farmer that owns this farmland, as he's been dealing with some creatures that have been attacking and killing his some of the flocks of his cows. Before you set out, however, you had all gathered down in the main hall of the Broken Candle, where you had noticed, most of you had noticed, that Dravroth, the silver-scaled dragonborn that Victorlas had spoken to the night prior, had kind of been keeping an eye on you all. You eventually made your way out of the city, heading northeast, and with Coralina splitting her attention from her own eyesight to that of Sir Barclay, as she cast her Find Familiar, you did notice that Dravroth had actually followed you to the outskirts of the city, and one final glimpse of him before he turned around and made his way back, assumedly back to the Broken Candle. You saw what looked to be a pendant of the Myriad around his neck, but the pendant itself was inverted. You have no idea what that means, if it means anything at all, but you do have that information.
And then the slaughtering of birds commenced.
Yes, I do actually have that here on my notes. Before reaching the farmland, the party did begin mindlessly murdering local wildlife in fears that they may be familiar sent to follow them before reaching the farm themselves. Quote unquote.
I can't leave you guys for 1 week.
No, actually, I'm not even going to joke. Let me just quickly go ahead and copy that to clipboard with green shot and post that there. And
at least
that is in my notes.
2 of said party were objectionable to this.
But yes,
Temple wouldn't have been.
Oh yeah, you were. We were well aware you did nothing to stop this from happening. But yes, you did. They did start mindlessly murdering the local wildlife in fears that they were being followed.
It was mostly
It-
pigeons.
That was Neftari's idea.
Upon reaching the farmland, getting a little bit distracted with all the death, murder, and mayhem that you were causing, you initially did have plans to kind of take the long scenic route to get to the farmlands in case someone was following you. Not paying attention to where you were going, you made your way there. You came across some very strange-looking creatures, Coralina, that you'd never seen before, and were introduced to them as cows. And one of the cows actually stood up. A Minotaur, from what you could tell, seemed to be the one of the hands for this farm. And actually getting into the farmhouse itself, where we are currently seeing. Oh wait, that's the wrong thing that I'm looking at. Whoops, I'm an idiot. There we go.
You telling me I missed cows last week?
Yes, you missed cows last week. You spoke to it was Calvin and Catelyn, the farmer and wife who own this very nice little house on the edge of farmland. They had told you what had happened. Some strange-looking creatures that seemed to be almost made completely of metal were attacking the flocks of cows, which they had to have moved from the southern edges of their fields to the northernmost to try and keep their flocks alive. And two of them, Catelyn actually spotted and pointed out to you all, and you all engaged in combat. Many spells were used. A little bit of rule breaking was put in place when Coralina transformed into Coralosaurus Rex. It counts, but it doesn't count from now on because I kind of reread the spell after the fact. But hey ho,
It was a fluke.
it was a fluke. But you did successfully manage to kill one of them before one ported into the building itself. And with a clutch banishment from Talar, it gave you about a minute of reprieve in getting Catelyn and Calvin into the safety of their bedroom before the creature actually returned to this plane of existence, as it does seem to be native to the prime material. Popped back into the kitchen, where you all mercilessly beat the living shit out of it until it died. And this is where we are picking up right now. So I'm just going to leave the battle map up. You're not in initiative anymore, but I'm just going to leave the battle map up for you for the sake of things. With the sound of combat slowly dying down from out of the darkness, Calvin and his wife Catelyn kind of come walking over to you, looking over to the beast, and is it dead? Did you kill it?
Probably.
I'm gonna walk up to it and poke it a bit with my bow. Yeah, I think we killed it. Sorry about the mess.
As you poke it, a little bit more of the thick black ooze kind of seeps from its wounds and drops to the floor. Calvin actually walks over to it and kneels down. You just hear a squelching noise as he takes two fingers and prods it into one of the open wounds of the creature, and just actually takes a slight lick of the black ichor. That's interesting. It's almost like oil. Very strange creature. Is
that skin metal then? Metal and oil?
Go ahead and roll me a survival check, please, Neftari, as you're trying to deduce this.
Well, maybe you can get a closer look while I behead it.
Oh, wait, leave the skin intact.
Are you sure? I really don't want this thing to get back up.
Neftari looks at the monster, looks at Temple, looks at the monster. Yeah, you should have seen what our lightning was doing with that.
Okay.
Hey,
on in 19, you can tell that this creature is composed. Like it's not really skin that it has. It's interlocking plates of metal that run from its faceless head. Doesn't actually have a face. No eyes, no nose that you can see. It's just a large maw with razor sharp teeth at the front, and then interlocking plates of metal that run across its back down to its tail.
You know, we were talking about getting you a set of armor.
I can't really wear armor. Maybe
Why
a
not?
cape or a shield, but no armor.
Surely, if we get this cut into patterns that are the same shape as you, like a breastplate and a backplate, skirt.
I would think it possible to make modifications to my existing structure, but I certainly couldn't wear a suit of armor over this. I simply wouldn't be able to move. Also, out of game, I don't think I actually am allowed to wear armor.
Oh, is that correct, actually, DM?
As a Warforged, my understanding is my high AC comes from built-in armor.
Ah.
I believe that is correct. Let me take a quick look here. Temple. Well, actually, no. From as a paladin, you do actually have proficiency in heavy, light, and all armors and shields.
But as a Warforged specifically, am I correct?
I am about to go and take a look here. Your body is built in defensive layers, which determine your armor class. Again, no benefit from wearing armor, but if you're using a shield, you apply its bonus as normal. So it doesn't matter. Like, you know, you have proficiency in wearing light, medium, and heavy armor. You gain no bonus from wearing armor at all. You can wear armor.
Okay.
There's nothing that will stop you from wearing armor. It just won't do anything for you.
Okay, what I was actually thinking was this monster had some strange properties when we hit it with our lightning. The lightning just didn't do anything; it just sort of dissipated.
Interesting. Well, certainly. I mean, do your thing. You often take the pelts of animals. Perhaps we can make a cloak of lightning resistance or buff our shields or something.
I don't even know what this thing is.
It's obviously it's a. Can I roll?
No, because you have never seen this creature before in your
It's a cat. Big old cat.
I will say this now: not one of you have ever seen a creature like this before.
Can I guess and be wrong?
I mean, sure. Even if you guess right, you're going to be wrong.
A cat. It's a cow that's been polymorphed. No, I have no idea. Lightning cow.
I'm not even sure I'm going to try to eat this.
Well, you.
But you're going to, aren't you? So
you
go
want
ahead.
to do. Catelyn, could you get me the chest, please? You watch as Catelyn once again disappears into the darkness of their bedroom, even though you can just kind of see where they are because of the fact that my fog of war layer is kind of messed up. But as she returns, she's actually pulling what looks to be quite a hefty chest. She's not lifting it; she's just dragging it across the ground before popping it down in front of Calvin.
Maybe just a little taste won't harm.
Well, if you want to eat strange things, well, I mean, I guess the newer generation of kids are doing that these days. Is it something you all do? Eat the corpse of random creatures that you kill?
No.
I assume that's why you brought us this mimic for an afternoon snack. That was a joke.
Mimic. Oh, is he always this strange? You just asked that out loud.
Yes, I am.
Okay.
The most important question here is this all of them? Just two?
We've only ever seen two at once, but that doesn't necessarily mean there are only two of them. Well, what we do know is to the far south is where they're coming from, so if you would be so kind as to take a look, then we would greatly appreciate that. But as you have come down and you have done what we have asked, here is your reward. He leans over, unlatches the chest, and pops it open. And inside, it just gleams with soft golden light.
Whoa. Profitable farming out here then, is it?
It is very profitable. Our crops are actually sent down to Westrun, and then from there, if needed, they can be shipped down to Iman, up to Whitestone, across to Stilblin. Our crops are sent all over the place. It is quite profitable out this way. Kind of
I would
kicks
love
the
to know
chest
what
and
it
it
is.
rattles. There is a total of 25,000 gold pieces in there. Split evenly,
yeah.
that's 5,000 gold pieces apiece.
This isn't your life savings, is it?
Oh no! I make more of I make that in like a few months if I'm lucky. If business is picking up.
Guy fills his pockets.
But there is one thing that we did notice. Some passerbys dropped these off, trying to make some quick coin. We didn't really know what they were, but something tells me that you, young lady, will be able to utilize these. And Coralina and Calvin actually reaches into a side pouch of this chest and pulls out 2 sheets of parchment and passes them to you.
Okay, I'd like to, looking back and forth, and is there anything written on them?
There is. It's in a language that you do not understand.
Hey, are any of those teleportations scrolls? I've always wanted to experiment with teleporting, like the bottom of the sea somewhere.
We have.
One, that's gonna be factually impossible for me to do that. I already have the spell one, so that's usually for just teleporting us around. But I'm also lacking the materials to do so.
That, and we have asked around for people to potentially translate the words, I guess. It's in a language that we do not understand, and no one we have been in contact with recently understands either. And out of game, I will tell you all now that not one of you understands this.
I'll have to get this looked
I
into.
was about 2 seconds from asking that.
I've actually gone through your character sheets and made sure when I picked the language. Well, not made sure that you guys couldn't understand it, but after I picked the language, I went through and checked, and none of you actually understands the language, I'm afraid.
Alright, well, those 2 sheets will go in my bag then.
Do I understand the symbols enough to be able to identify a language, if not the text?
I will allow you to roll me an investigation check at disadvantage. But actually, hold on one moment. Before you do that, before you roll,
Okay.
let me check my PHP here. It is one page off, I think. Yes, there is. Standard language chart. Let's see the exotic languages. Yes, this will be at disadvantage.
Clearly, it's French.
Yeah, this is like even the symbols look extremely strange. Completely foreign to you. You have no idea what language this could be. It could be one, could be a combination of two. You have no idea.
Well, some mages are like that. They like to sometimes hide their spells.
Code, hey? Right. I'm gonna set to and skin these creatures as carefully as I can because I've never seen anything like
Okay.
it.
Go ahead and roll me a survival check. 24. Yeah, no, you're able to skin it quite efficiently. One thing that you do notice on the 24 as you're cutting through the fleshy parts of the creature, the plates themselves, they're not just single plates that are set on skin. Some of them actually have very long pins that drive deep into the the fleshy core of the creature. So as you actually dislodge a couple of the metal plates, as you pull it free, there's a large almost thread essentially of metal that runs down for about 8-10 inches before you manage to completely dislodge it, and you'll get 4 of these plates in total.
What the hell is this thing? Let's drag this one outside as well and open it up and see what makes it tick. Literally, I think it could be. I don't know.
Is now really a time for an autopsy?
Well, yeah. What the hell is this thing? It's like not alive. It's like you.
All I care about is if it's dead.
I think we can safely say it very much is.
And in the time that has passed, it hasn't moved at all since you've killed it, or the one outside. Neither of them have begun moving.
Well, Neftari, if you want to do whatever you have to do. Temple. I believe there was something you wanted to do when we got here. And I'll turn turn to the farm owners. Would you mind if we go and take a look at your cows?
I wouldn't really advise it. Veneria can be quite protective if people approach without due cause, or if it's not me or my wife. And if you're
That's
planning to do
okay,
what you
I
think you're
understand.
doing, he will kill you. I will make sure of that.
Oh no, we're not taking Neftari with us. But fine, we'll respect your cow's privacy.
Speaking of which, do you know if there are any wild cows in the area?
Not that I know of.
Well, I assume you're an expert on cows. In your professional opinion, do you think I'd be physically strong enough to lift a cow? Were I so inclined?
Kind of takes a step back
Actually,
and crosses his arms.
wait a minute. No, wait, don't spoil the surprise. Neftari.
I think I'll need to rest first. I've kind of used most of my abilities in that fight. It was quite a tough encounter.
Okay, Temple. Come on then. Let's get this done. And
I'm going to excitedly rub my hands together.
walk
I assume that would
towards the
cause
exit.
sparks.
I'm going to hold the door and
I don't
gesture
have
for
any
Temple
place
to
for
walk
you all
out.
to stay, but you are free to use the area just outside our home as a camp if you need to rest.
Got a load of pigeons in the cart. Would your wife fancy making a pie?
Kathleen,
If Barkley finds out his pigeons are missing, I can't be held responsible.
I'm sorry, who?
Oh, I'll blow a spell slot for Find Familiar.
Barclay swoops down out through one of the open windows and lands on your shoulder. Ruffles his
This is
feathers.
Sir Barkley.
Oh, a bloodhawk. Interesting. My wife isn't really proficient in making meat pies, but if you'd be willing to forego your catch, Sir Barkley, we will most certainly try to make a pie for you all.
You just look at Barkley.
He kind of glances down to you. Absolutely not, my lady. That is my catch. They will be mine to feast upon. No one else's.
Not even if they were made into a pie?
Absolutely not. I prefer my meat raw. Struggling, even.
Barkley, I will buy them off of you for 5,000
You can't
gold.
understand that, so...
Can I give the good bad money
Yeah,
anyway?
no, you cannot understand that at all, so no.
Okay.
Barkley unfortunately declines the offer.
Oh, well, I would say that's a shame, but bloodhogs must eat too. I think. Did your bloodhog eat?
Yes, quite well, actually.
Interesting.
I will turn to Barkley as like a last-ditch effort. Salmon for pigeons?
You kind of like turns away from you for a moment in deep thought. No, my mind is made up, my lady. I do apologize, but my prey is mine alone.
Well, I mean, I can't convince you otherwise.
Kind of like glances over to you and like, no. Even though salmon sounds absolutely divine, no, my prey is my own. No one else's.
Yeah, he still declines, I'm sorry to say.
Next time I do the hunting.
Well, if the peasant believes that he can hunt better than I can, my lady, I would like to see him try.
Not a peasant.
Don't you doubt it.
You can't understand Barkley either.
Oh yeah, sorry.
You know, Scott, this would help a lot more if you just called loudly.
But I
And
can
then
understand what
message
you're saying.
Coralina what you're saying.
But Victorious can understand, and so can Coralina. So
I understand through like facial expressions
of a bird.
Yeah, I really catch on that body language.
No.
Just through
Anyway,
context.
what's
you know?
the plan now? You guys have your reward. You can each add 5,000 gold pieces to your inventory each, as it is split evenly. And
Yay.
Coralina, you have 2 unknown scrolls in your possession.
Here, Neftari, can you look after this gold, please?
No problem.
Okay, Neftari, you get to add 10,000. Temple doesn't want anything, apparently.
I can't remember how much gold I'm
Playing a
looking at.
character, yeah.
So, what do you guys want to do now?
Well, I think after that ordeal, we could all do with a bit of a rest, and these kind folks are, allow us to make camp on their site. A, it gives us a chance to recuperate, and B, gives us a chance to check that there are no more of these things out there. So I'm going to head back to the cart and start preparing for a bit of a rest.
Okay.
Temple, we have a moment. I've got a little present for you.
Now, is everyone following suit with Victorious?
I would have asked for Barkley to go ahead and dispose of his prey if he doesn't want to share.
Okay. Barkley would, with a flutter of his wings, takes off out through the open doorway as Victorious is making his way out. And not before long, anyone that gets to the cart and peers inside, you can see that it has been almost completely picked clean. There are a few specks of blood and feathers from the pigeons and crows that you'd viciously murdered on your way here. But they're all the corpses are gone.
I'd just like to have to pocket in the 5,000 gold piece. I looked at my thing. I turned into a cow. For a temp.
Okay,
Need I say?
you transform into a cow. And Temple, if you'd like to go ahead and roll me a strength check, please, because I know what you're about to do.
First of all, are we indoors?
No, you made your way outside into towards the cart and horses that you used to get here.
How are we on a slope? I just want to
No,
really get an idea about.
It's flat, even ground.
I swear to God, if
Hold your
Temple
breath,
just
Neftari.
is he gonna tip the cow?
No, I'm going to lift the cow. If I fail at lifting the cow, yes, I may end up tipping the cow.
And
Go
making
ahead
a
roll your
milkshake.
Personal strength. I
check.
hope you understand. Coralina, would you like to get on the back of the cow while I lift the cow?
Wait, why?
Ooh.
It'll be funnier. You'll be riding a cow that I'm holding. I'm going to fly it around like a bird. Neftari, do you consent?
I was going to suggest a slightly less risky approach to this situation, but Neftari, you go right ahead.
Actually, I think that'll be okay. Okay, I'll get on the cow at your request.
Okay.
And this
the
is
words
fanfiction.
that I never thought would ever leave my mouth. Coralina mounts the cow. Temple, go ahead and roll me your strength check, please.
I have never been more ready for this. I position myself
And the
like
DC's
a
just
sumo
gone
god.
up.
1 foot down,
Can
other
I
foot
start?
down,
Can I
hands
start?
rubbed together.
Can I start preparing a spell in case shit happens?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Nope, too late.
Dolores watching all
You cast fly on yourself. And
No, on the cow. On the
cow.
cow. Yeah, because it makes more sense. It's bigger than I am.
No,
Okay.
Tari, no, stop mooing. It's distracting.
No.
As you kind of lean over, there are some really strange jiggly bits underneath the cow. As you reach over,
Oh no!
you
poor
give one
Neftari.
hefty lift. Hold on, I need to quickly double check the casting fly here.
Accidentally miscast it on the cow.
No, she intentionally cast fly on the cow. No, but with your unbelievable belief in your strength, you launch this cow 60 feet into the air. You're unbelievable. You just launch this cow. You're so powerful. You launch this cow into the air as if it was nothing. You could lift your strength. You've got so much strength. You could probably lift 10 cows at once.
Oh no.
Oh shit! I'm gonna try and catch the cow.
Strangely, the cow isn't coming down.
Oh no! No, no! I'm too powerful. No.
I'm looking up at this point. Temple, I think you.
Someone help!
It's not coming down. Atari.
I will. I must vow to only use my powers for good.
The cow just kicks its legs out in the air. Moo!
I just slowly turn my head towards the other cows in the area.
The other cows are just munching away slowly while looking up
They're
at
not
this
even
cow
nervous.
that's flying. No, they're just looking up
Surely those cows should roll for a religion check.
No, because the cows are not religious. Temple, go ahead and roll me a dex save, please.
This is the kind of event that would make a cow religious.
Temple, go ahead and make me a dex save. Yeah, you just had as you glance up, you get a cow pie of shit to the face. As Neftari just took a dump on you.
Neftari, get down here at once.
All you have to do is think down, probably slowly. At least for you. I mean,
Cows think down?
I'm gonna point
Pedals
my hand.
furiously. There is one way to make.
Is Coralina
make
still
it slow
riding
down.
the cow?
Yes, Coralina is still mounting
yes,
the cow.
I'm still on this cow.
Coralina is still riding
you're
Neftari,
doing
right?
it.
Okay.
I'd like to think downwards. Do I have to roll?
Nope.
Something?
As you,
No, just
the moment
fly.
you start thinking down, you slowly descend towards the floor.
I don't have a spell for this.
A couple of moments later, Neftari cow is on the ground with Coralina kind of secured to his back.
Okay, that's enough for me.
Yes, that was
I'm down.
utterly unbelievable.
Down and off. Yep.
Yep.
And I just heard that pun. Your disadvantage on your next roll. That's bad. Disadvantage. God damn it. Right. Do you guys want to get your long rest in now? Or short rest at the very least?
Like any of us can sleep after seeing what we just witnessed.
I feel sorry for what the cows were just seeing. What another cow did.
I must say, though, this was very amusing.
Oh.
Disadvantage for your next 2 rolls.
So what spell was that? Cows shouldn't fly. Cows
No,
can't.
I-
It wasn't me.
No, I made you fly.
Oh
'cause
no,
I did-
Temple, you launched Netari into the sky. You're that powerful.
My goodness. I could have killed you, Neftari. Have the stakes ever been higher?
That's what happens when you roll a 1.
Can I fly anytime I want then? I mean, could Temple launch me at any point and you could just make me.
I mean, I can make you fly just off the ground right now.
Are you still concentrating on the spell, Coralina?
I mean, yeah, I haven't broken it yet.
So, I mean, technically speaking, right now, Nethtar, you can fly as much as you want. So long as Coralina concentrates on the spell, you can fly.
So I just think up. I'm thinking up now.
And you suddenly start to slowly ascend into the air.
Oh my god.
Neftari, promise only to use your powers for good.
And I can move as well. I try to
Mhm.
flap my arm.
Now,
Think
come
left,
on, get
right.
down now, Neftari. It's past your bedtime.
I just want to know how this spell works.
You just think it and it moves you. Think left, think right. You kind of need to think in 3 dimensions at some instances, but yeah. I mean, that's how we get around in the Orin plane.
So how fast can I go? I think as fast as I can to the distance behind the farmhouse.
And you start soaring away from the party at 60 feet per, so about 10 feet per second.
Faster,
Can I
faster.
jog alongside?
That's as fast as you can go, 10 feet a second. That is 60 feet per round, so no,
Wow.
you can't move. You can't, like, keep up with him, Temple. Like, he's twice as fast as you are running.
Okay, and I
Dashing,
fly back to the party.
if you use a dash,
down.
you like start going at breakneck speed, which is 120 feet per round, which is 20 feet a second.
Can you imagine if Neftari hit a tree moving at this speed for sheer weight?
I'd probably snap his neck first.
As I come down, and how long does this spell last?
10
Indefinitely?
minutes? 10 minutes?
10 minutes of turbo cow.
As long as you're concentrating on it, because if you lose
Yes.
concentration and I'm up there, then I come down.
And you'll
very
probably
fast.
fall to your death.
Okay.
You'd be ground beef.
Disadvantage on 3 rolls.
But if you fall from me losing concentration, you'll, you know, or yeah, you will fall to your death. So best to avoid
Maybe.
that. Because this school of magic isn't my strong suit, unlike my conjuration. So because I mean, when I summon something, I can I can take a few licks and deal with it, but not like this.
It was a misclick. My apologies.
Does the spell work on anything, or just people and animals?
As long as the creature is willing, yes.
Cool. We should get a rest though.
Probably.
Okay, so you guys gonna go and take a long rest right now, or a short rest? What do you guys want to do?
How's everyone doing after that little encounter?
I've gotten some of my, I've used up some of my higher level stuff, but
A long rest might be good at some point.
I could
I'd
do with the
suggest
downtime
food
to
and-
recharge my spells.
Food and rest, perhaps.
I'll start preparing some of the better rations that I picked up before we left for everyone to have some food, gather my things, and find myself a nice scenic spot somewhere to have a meditate.
Vic, you don't have to worry about me. I mean, you can give a little bit more to everyone else. I'll be fine.
While food is being prepared, I'd like Talar to go in and actually help the two farmers clean up their kitchen a little bit. Maybe help them drag that thing outside or something.
As you head inside, with the shenanigans of flying cow, as you kind of knock on the door and slowly open it, as you glance inside, you actually see that the corpse of the creature has already been dragged outside into the back. The large black smear that has been created across the floor as it's been dragged is currently being mopped up by Calvin. Calvin slowly makes his way over to you. Yes, sir. What can I do for you tonight?
I'd like to help you clean after the mess we made.
Oh, no. You don't have to worry about that. The mess was made in defense of our lives. We could never ask you to clean up something like that. Plus,
you don't have to.
Veneria can deal with the things, whatever they are. And Catelyn, she'll have everything mopped up and ready to go in maybe half an hour. It is fine, honestly.
She sighs a little bit, and if that is your wish.
It is. You're very humble, and I appreciate the offer. But this is the least that we could do in the given situation. You saved our lives. We couldn't ask any more of you.
And you wouldn't have. I just wanted to offer my assistance.
And I appreciate the offer.
Is there anything else that I could help with? Perhaps cooking food or something?
Oh, no. If you require meals, let me know. Catelyn will easily make something for you. But no, you have done more than enough. Please, take this time, rest.
She nods and she puts her hand on his shoulder briefly for a moment and then steps back. Very well, and thank you.
No, thank you.
She'll go back outside and find where everyone's at.
Question for everyone, since you guys are doing this as a group. Are you guys going to have a short rest or a long rest?
I'd prefer
I
a long,
thought
personally.
long rest.
That's fine.
3
Yeah,
for
it's fine
long,
with me.
4 for long.
Yep,
That's
for a
fine.
long. Use a lot of spell
Oh,
slots.
long rest.
Mm.
Cool. Right. So you guys set up the camp. Victorious, you're able to find a kind of scenic little mound. It's not like it's kind of dirty. It's not a mound of grass or anything like that. It's basically just a mound of dirt that's been shifted to the side. But the view does let you skim over the fields and the grasslands and everything. So it's not bad. But you're on a farm. You've seen better. But you are able to get set up for your meditation. And if anyone else has anything they want to do now, go ahead and let me know. Otherwise, just go ahead and roll a long rest on your character sheet on D&D Beyond, and we'll move on to the next day.
Done.
All right, cool. So, about 8 hours later, Victorious, you're already awake at this point, obviously, with only needing your 4 hours of meditation. But
Yeah, I'd just be scouting the area with my bow, just keeping an eye out for any more of these creatures.
you don't actually. You know what? Go ahead and roll me 2 separate perception checks.
Uh-huh.
Two 19s. You don't see anything that's approaching the farmland, but in the last hour or so, you do catch sight, as you're doing your patrol to the far south, you do actually catch sight of one of these creatures kind of prowling around what looks to be an opening or something, an opening, like perhaps a cave system, into like the side of one of the small mountains that's just to the southeast of the farmland. It doesn't approach you, it doesn't seem to be aggressive, but it is there.
How far away is this?
It
Where
is
we're camped?
about half a mile away. It's quite a clear and beautiful morning so far.
Hmm. Okay. I'll observe for as long as I can until the sun starts to rise, and I'll slowly make my way back to camp.
And during your observation, you know that the creature is seems to be on some kind of patrol to the mouth of this cave system. And when the sun fully rises and you start to see the beams of light kind of reflect off of the metal plates on its back, kind of slowly turns around and makes its way into the cave and disappears. Okay. You manage to return back to everyone else once you've done your patrol. Everyone else is slowly coming to. What's the plan for today?
I made my conjured meal that we talked about earlier.
Yeah. As everyone kind of comes to, Coralina is actually one of the first out by the now smouldering campfire that you'd built throughout the night, with a bowl in her hand with a kind of fluffy white rice with different flecks of color going through it, which she is currently munching away on.
Is everybody up?
And so far, yeah. Just waiting for what you guys want to do.
Well, while you guys have been sleeping, I thought I'd take a little look around. Seems those 2 beasties weren't the only 2 in the surrounding area.
Oh no. How many more have we seen?
I only saw 1 more, but it seemed to have a nest or a home of some sort just to the south, the base of that small mountain range.
Great. How was it size compared to the ones we killed?
It looked to be about the same size as the others, maybe a little bigger with Horless.
Yeah, similar. Similar size and shape.
We've no idea whether what we've killed so far and what you've seen is a juvenile or
It's too
adult.
far away.
It would help if we knew what they were. Half our spells didn't seem to work. The lightning was just it dissipated up into rid of metal, oil inside it. What was the results of the autopsy? Whether did I cut one up outside the farm?
No, because like after you made the suggestion,
Turned into a cow.
you left and turned into a cow. So
Right,
you
I'd like
didn't actually perform your autopsy on the creature.
Let's take apart what remains of the ones we've killed and just see what makes them. I will head over to where the bodies were. We'll
Do
leave
we
them at the
really
back of the
need to
farmhouse,
take them
or-
apart?
I'm honestly surprised he hasn't done this sooner.
I would have if I could have eaten it, but I don't want to eat oil or metal.
I take another bite of my meal.
What's that stuff you're eating?
It's an Aguan delicacy. I was craving it, so here
Oh,
it is.
and you're telling me there's more over there in the forest away from these corpses? What a wonderful idea, Cor.
So what are you guys wanting to do? What's the plan?
I want to go and dissect the corpse of
All
one
right.
of those creatures.
Cool. As you make your way around to the back of the farmhouse, there is a large black mass that's kind of in the shadows of the house, and you kind of look over, and the kind of piercing golden amber eyes kind of glance back to you as Fenrir, the Minotaur, kind of sits up. One of the creatures is actually already in bits. The other one, it's got two of its hind legs have been torn off. Its tail has been detached, and Fenrir currently has a very large blade kind of sifting through the insides of the second creature at the moment, in the middle of taking it apart.
Hey, that's just what I was going to do.
Well, you're a little too slow for that, my friend.
What's it made out of? I've never seen a creature like this. Do you know what it is?
I've never come across a creature like this before. It
My friend tried to
seems
banish it, but my friend tried to banish it, but it came right back. So it's obviously from this realm. Are you from this realm?
He kind of stops in the middle of cutting. No, I am not. This creature is... I do not know what this is. Something devilish, perhaps. Demonic, maybe. Not something I have seen before.
Let me have a closer look. Does it have, the usual heart, lungs, and everything, or what's inside of there?
Go ahead and roll me a survival check. 11. As you kind of sift through the one that Fenrir is currently cutting into, you basically just shove your hand into its guts and start feeling around. You aren't able to come across, like, not wanting to tear anything, like, you don't tear anything out, because you're just wanting to look for it. You do feel what seems to be like lungs, liver, stomach, spinal column, heart. They're all a bit tougher than usual. Not really squishy. Oh, not the spinal column, of course, because it'd be bone. But like the organs seem to be a little tougher, not super squishy. But yeah, they all seem to be there.
Strange. I just want to check out a couple of spells on it. We really struggled killing this thing. At this point, I'd let you use a couple of our cantrips: a create bonfire, and frostbite on a couple of lumps of flesh, just to see if anything happens when I freeze it. Or does it, I assume it just burns. Does it, the oil?
Yeah, science.
Science.
Sorry, what was the two cantrips? Conjure bonfire and
Frostbite.
frostbite. Let's take a look at your spells. Frostbite. That's cold damage, right? Yeah. As you pull the two hind legs away from Fenrir, place them about 5-10 feet apart from each other, so that, you can accurately test what can happen to them. The one that you create the bonfire around, it's like you watch for a couple of minutes and you see that the fleshy innards start to go even deeper black and burn, and the smell is it's fine. It's absolutely fine for you. You've smelt worse. As you glance over to Fenrir, even the Minotaur is kind of putting his 3-digited hand up to his snout and just kind of glances away. It does not smell nice at all. The one that you cast your frostbite on, however, does absolutely nothing.
That's interesting. Oh, well, that should freeze. I go and try and stab it while it's. Is it frozen at all? Or?
It's cold to the touch, much colder to the touch, but it's not frozen. You give it a poke with your scimitar. It does kind of slide in a bit of resistance from the cold, but it's a little doesn't seem to be doing too much.
Yeah, looks like we fight this thing with fire then. See if we can stand the smell. I'd still like to know what it is.
Well, that, my friend, is up to you and your companions.
I'll see if they've got any paper in the house.
Okay. As you knock on the door and take a step inside, Calvin kind of sits up from his nice cushy leather chair that he was sat in next to the fireplace, and turns to you. Yes. What can I do for you? Have you begun your investigation, or have you chose to head back to Westrun?
Well, you've got more of them to the south, and nobody has figured out what this thing is yet. So I'm gonna, if you've got a pen and paper, I'm going to sketch it down. Then I can show a few people and see if anybody knows what the hell it is.
Of course. One moment. Kind of rushes over and heads into the bedroom. A couple of moments later, comes back and passes you over a large piece of paper and a pen. Yeah, there you are. You think someone else may have dealt with creatures like this in the past?
I have no idea.
Well, I can only wish you the best of luck. If there are more of them, then hopefully they don't kill more of my cows.
Yeah, you might be okay. They might just keep themselves over there. Perhaps we should go kill the rest, but yeah, come to think of it, you might see what the others say.
What is everyone else doing? You guys following Neftari as he goes about, or are you guys just still chilling at your little campsite?
I'm trying to make heads or tails of these scrolls, these like little spell pages.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm explaining to Victoralis. So I just lifted it, and it just flew 60 feet into the air. It was incredible.
Yeah. Otherwise, she's trying, like Corley's like trying to get a word in edgewise. Like, Vic, can you do you recognize any of this at all? I know
I couldn't believe my eyes. It was just flying.
Talara is just sitting there, munching on some rations,
Mm-hmm.
listening to everything.
Do you think, Temple, that this is some kind of untapped ability that you've not been aware of all this time?
I don't know, but to be honest, this might be the first time in my life I've ever truly experienced fear. I didn't know I had this much power, Victoralis. In fact, we should go back now. We can win.
I think it may take a little more than lifting cows to great heights to see us victorious, but let's see if we can find any other large beasties for you to try this out on.
Yes, I could launch them. I'd be like a cannon.
Well, you know, it works for donkeys.
Okay,
I mean,
so what are
let's
you
not
trying to
make an enemy of the entire animal kingdom here, but I like your thing.
So, Carolina, what are you trying to do with the scroll?
I was seeing if Vic could make heads or tails of it either, because he might know languages I don't. I know like 4, and all 4 of them are so far not working.
And I can tell you for a fact, Victorless, you cannot read it either.
That's nothing. No kind of language I've seen before.
Let me see here. Yes. No. 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 Yes. Because the two of you are proficient in Arcana, I will let Victorless and Coralina roll an Arcana check to see if they can determine what language this is. It's going to be a high DC, though, so. No. None of you are sure. You've seen, I can tell you that you have seen scratchings of a script like this before. Can't really remember where. But you can't really quite place it.
I mean, there should be isn't there a library in Western? I mean, there was at least an Arcana district. Maybe I can go back by myself to that oddities place and see if I can get a translation. Not looking forward to it. I'll put the spell scrolls back in my bag.
Mm-hmm. Well, scrolls. You don't know if they're spell scrolls or not.
Okay. These unknown pages.
Mm-hmm. That's more like it. Okay. So, what's the plan? You guys want to head back to Westrun? Or are you guys wanting to head to the southeast and go and investigate the cave?
What say you all? I'm half inclined to go and check out the cave, but then again,
The part of me that's paladin and concerned about the lives of these people kind of swings me towards going to the cave. I mean, every moment those vicious creatures are alive, these people's lives are in danger, as livestock.
Well, I mean, we fought 2 of them more, so I mean, what's one more?
How do we know
I'm
it's
worried
just
about the
one, though?
lives of these people. If the longer we wait, the more chance they have of being.
Well, I mean, how far away was it, Vic? I mean, I can always send an elemental to go scope it out.
that's about half a mile, but roughly in the direction that we need to head anyway. Well, thereabouts. We could make our way closer and then do some scouting.
Yeah, that can be good. I can do that.
If you just saw one at the cave, who knows if there's more inside? There could be 5, 10 more. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
We'd be in for some serious trouble.
Yes, that's why I didn't approach too closely last night.
Well, I mean, if they have, just a main way in and a main way out, I mean, cause a cave in, and then I guess they just starve and eat each other or whatever those things decide to do.
I could use my newfound strength to just simply close the cave.
Right.
Scott, did you say these things had no eyes?
Yeah.
No
Not
face.
like no face, like no eyes, no ears that you can see. And just like a flat plate going across their like where their face would be is just not but a flat metal plate, and then the large protruding teeth from their maw just directly below that.
I was going to say we could try and communicate with them, but have you ever known someone with no eyes be actually sentient and able to?
There are many creatures that use senses of hearing, vibration, smell. I don't think they necessarily need eyes.
For all we know, these two could have been exiles or escapees or
Children.
Part of
Or
the
children.
family unit. Who knows? Maybe the two that came out were actually trying to gather food for a family.
they were killing cows.
Like I said, what we see is killing mindlessly. They could have been trying to gather food for a family.
Don't
Let's not
make me
forget.
try to feel guilty about killing them. I mean, if we could run the whole thing over again, I would kill them just the same, if not quick.
Let's not forget that saving cows isn't the reason we're here. Do have a small matter of speaking to a certain silver dragonborn back in Westrun. If Sir Barclay's observations are to be correct.
Typically, like I said, he's never been wrong.
Absolutely. Well,
I'm
then,
just somewhat concerned we return here in a few days' time and there's nothing left of this place.
I mean, like I said, a cave-in could buy us some time.
And I've always wanted to see if I could. What's lifting a mountain, but you don't lift it, you make it go down?
That would be pushing.
Causing a landslide?
That.
in which
Cause
case,
a cave in? What, just pull the mountain down so that they can't get out anymore?
If we shout loud enough, maybe we can just have it do all the work for.
I mean, my earth elementals are pretty good at causing cave-ins, so
That's
collapse
actually an even better idea.
Yep, collapse the mouth of the cave. It could buy us some time, and either best case scenario they starve and or eat each other. Worst case scenario they try to dig themselves out, but that's still going to take some time.
I like your thinking. Make the world work for you.
It's called working smarter, not harder.
What if these
I
things
call it
are just-
weaponized laziness.
What if
Don't
these
forget
things are
that they
just-
can.
Sorry?
Don't forget that they have the ability to teleport, or did you forget the one that disappeared and reappeared inside the house?
Oh,
They could
yeah.
easily
I
do that with a
mean-
cave-in.
Unless it can only
not to be
teleport where it can see.
not to be concerned that when I was polymorphed, my brain was the size of a walnut. So if I forget certain things during that time period, I can't be held responsible.
No, which is right. If they can teleport and we cause a cave in on them, and there's a lot of them, it would just really piss them off, and then they could all just teleport out. And
I've never found a small cave, and I've seen people use Misty Step and other forms of teleportation. There's usually a range to it.
Typically, yes.
Maybe
but
there's
the-
a stream
Um,
next to the cave. We can cause a cave in and
Carolina?
flood it.
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check at advantage, please. 24. You actually recognize the spell. Like, even though you were, like, you had the brain the size of a walnut, you were still you, and conjuration is your thing. It's a 4th level spell. Dimension Door. 500 feet. You do not need to see your destination. So, cave in, potential, but it might only slow them down.
Yeah, cave-in just might slow them down. I've actually been meaning to actually pick up the spell that they've actually been using, actually. It's like, it has a stupid high range. I can actually take someone with me, perhaps. And it causes less collateral damage than I usually do when I thunderstep.
But wouldn't it be fun?
Be fun.
It
But-
would be, but
Yeah,
it might be better to just go ahead and handle them.
Tell us, right, they might just be children or the minions of something more powerful, and we could just piss something
Scott,
out.
do I know if these are demons or likely to be? Because that would heavily sway my decision as a paladin.
Wait one moment. I'll say with your divine sense, like, it is an active ability, like to detect good and evil, and to be able to actively track the location of celestials, fiends, and undead. But passively, I'd say you'd be able to tell if these were demons, and the fact that you were not doing your bonus 1d8 against the creatures when you were in combat with them, even though you personally don't know that. You do bonus, like, your divine smite does more damage against the likes of celestials. Oh wait, actually, what is
So
it?
in
It's
which case,
undead,
I could
undead or
deduce that they're
fiends.
so I could probably deduce they're probably not demons.
They're
or
not.
undead.
Well, they're not undead or fiends, because fiends can cover both demons and devils. So,
Okay.
but they're not. It's not a fiend, and it is not undead, from what you can tell.
Well, I'm indifferent. I'll just go with whatever you guys are doing and hope it doesn't come to a worst case scenario.
And what's the plan?
That's, well, all in agreement. Let's approach with caution, scout from a distance, see if we can figure out what's down in that cave, and make a decision based on what we find.
Excellent idea. I'll be bait.
Send the pigeon in to scope it out. I mean, hawk. Sorry.
He's not a pigeon.
Oof. Good thing he's not fucking summoned at the moment.
Look, I went to bat for you and called you a savant. He does not call you a peasant anymore.
You called me a
Go
peasant?
ahead. Go ahead and roll me a deception check, Carolina. And sorry, go ahead and roll me an insight check.
I might get away. No, I don't get away.
No, you don't get away with it. No, you like is she Carolina? You kind of stuttered, like, he doesn't call you a peasant anymore. Like, you know she's lying to you. Barclay definitely calls you a peasant.
Well, I mean, given the one-sided exchanges, Cora is kind of a softie around Barkley anyway.
Mhm.
I was so jealous. Yes, especially with the pigeon.
All right, so you guys heading to the southeast towards the cave, yeah?
Yeah, we'll approach cautiously and not get
Cautiously,
too close.
stealthy.
As best we can with a 2-horse cart and
You
everything
can
else
leave the
going on.
horse and cart behind. It's only like half a mile away, so it'll only take you like half an hour on foot to get there. If that,
Okay.
even. It might only actually no, for half an hour. Walking, 10 minutes, maybe.
Okay, in which case, as we approach, I'll cast second level Pass Without Trace on the party.
Okay. Everyone gets plus 10 to their stealth checks.
Okay.
Alright. So, as you guys are approaching the cave, everyone go ahead and roll me stealth.
Myself at disadvantage.
Yes.
Hmm.
Let's take a look here. That's a natural 1. So 26,
I am
31,
pretty big.
15, 24, and a natural 1.
I still have the idea in my head about being bait.
Yeah, so yeah, Temple, you kind of like run up ahead. The plates of your metal form just kind of rattling along as you jog ahead. Everyone just kind of sinks down behind you and takes their time. But as you, Temple, get to the mouth of the cave, there's no creatures in the immediate vicinity. But I would like you to go ahead and roll me a perception check. 10, that's enough. As you kind of poke your head around the corner and glance inside, you can see what looks to be a faint orange glow from the depths of the cave.
Like fire orange or like orb orange?
With the 10, you can't really tell.
Sorry, I thought.
Echo, echo, echo.
Don't do that.
Don't do what? What?
That.
Will you two
Okay.
shut up?
Oh, sorry. Were we doing a stealth?
We'll get the hang of it one day, I'm sure.
Mm.
I cast slip into shadows.
You don't have Slip into Shadows, so
Then
no,
I
you do
step
not. And
back
that
one
is,
pace.
that is
Then I
where
step
we are
back one
currently.
pace towards invisible.
As you guys enter the cave, because I'm assuming you guys are going to enter.
Mm-hmm.
Room, thanks, I guess. If you want to head down to the bottom right of the battle map, you should be able to see your tokens and move them and everything like that. And as you take a step forward, Nethtari, from the sound that you've just heard, you catch a very slight glimpse of one of these creatures just take off into the darkness.
Hold on, I have a spell. I think.
More of these things. There's at least one. I've just seen run up.
I don't know if this is a good idea.
I mean, is it
As-
ever a good idea?
As you
it's
slowly
bad
press
idea.
up, Victorless and Nethtari, what you can see coming from this direction is a flickering orange glow. Getting closer to it, Nethtari, you can tell it looks to be some kind of torchlight, maybe like from a campfire or something.
Okay. I'm gonna stick with Netari and approach as cautiously and quietly as I can, even though
Mhm.
Temple's clunking away next to me.
What's going on, Nevtar? Did you see something?
I think there's some sort of encampment.
How dark is it in here?
It's not darkness. Like you can see it with the sunlight kind of flowing in from the back and the soft glow coming in from your front. It's not pitch darkness, but you can see.
Okay.
as you step in, I'll have you guys just hold where you are at the moment. As you step in, like, to this area, you can actually hear. I'm not even gonna have you a roll for this. You can hear what sounds like humming. A deep humming sound coming from your front.
Does it
Do
sound,
I recognize the humming?
No, you do not.
does it sound human or
You can't tell. Passive 12 insight. You can't tell.
Does it sound like it might be mechanical in nature or like magical?
You cannot tell.
Let's just keep an eye on the escape route here. No one take any chances.
I mean, like I said, I could try to summon an earth elemental that can scout ahead. I mean, it can burrow into the ground, so it can't really. So, it's not
I
really
think that
assumed.
would be a good idea.
Okay.
Be better than us going forward.
Scott, structurally speaking, how does the interior of the cave look? Is it cave-inable?
As you cave-inable from where you're standing just now, but as you've come into this large open section, you can see that it's probably a good 30 to 50 feet above, and it's a large open cavernous area. Probably wouldn't be able to cave in this big section ahead of you, but anything from behind you is a possibility.
I'll blow my 5th level spell slot to conjure an earth elemental.
Okay.
Right next to me's fine.
Right next to you. Cool.
Yeah.
Bop. Bop. And for the sake of this, I'm going to go ahead and give you control of it. So you
Cool.
can put it wherever you want to.
Okay.
Just give me a
I'm
second,
going-
though. I need to... we'll give it 30, 60.
Okay. So, I'm going to tell it that, burrow into the ground and, see if it can spot, go out to scout. Do not engage, report back to me with any findings. Like, 20 minutes?
20 minutes. Okay. The elemental kind of gives you a nod and burrows down into the ground and disappears. There's a slight tremble at your feet as earth glides away. And then
I'll be back
silence.
soon.
In that 20 minutes, are you guys wanting to do anything else?
it could just make us all completely invisible if you.
It's okay. I do a great boulder impression. Look, I just remain still.
Well, my spell lasts an hour, so we should be able to remain reasonably hidden.
Sneak forward a bit.
As you get to there, Nithara, you can actually see now one of the creatures to your far north. It's just kind of hunched down, sat on its hindquarters, looking in your direction. The humming is coming from that direction as well. But you can't see anything else just now, but it is just sat there. It doesn't seem to be aggressive.
I'm staying put, bow drawn. I'm going to wait for the earth elemental to come back. Sorry, don't stray too far.
I'm gonna stay put as well.
And no.
I come back. Yeah, there's at least 2 of them in there. One of the creatures is doing the humming. It could be singing to itself.
I mean, do some animals do that?
You know, I was just thinking, if these creatures don't have faces, presumably they don't have eyes. So perhaps their senses aren't based on vision. Maybe they can't see.
Oh, and maybe their hearing is really, really good. They probably know we're here and they haven't attacked.
Possibly. If they're anything like moles, maybe.
Yeah. 20 minutes go by. The elemental, like you feel the ground before you tremble, and then the elemental kind of just slowly, well, not erupt, but slowly like billows out from the ground. The small rocks, stones, and dirt just slowly dropping off to it as the elemental pops up just behind you guys.
Well,
Many creature, one demonic, strange, acting.
okay. And how many was many creatures?
4.
Okay. So 4, 1 demonic, acting strange. Right.
Rest of us understand this elemental, or is it speaking?
It is speaking primordial, so if anyone
I'm kind of just relaying this information in common.
yeah.
That's why I was like kind of repeating what it was telling me.
But anyone who speaks primordial, in this case that would just be Corlina and Victoria, so you can understand directly. But for everyone else who doesn't, Corlina does kind of echo what it says, so that you all understand what it's in as well.
Okay, we definitely can't fight 4. I wouldn't have thought that.
Is there
When you
anything
say
else?
I would like all 5 of you at the moment to go ahead and roll me a perception check, please.
Yeah.
Natural 20. 10. 17, 16. And a 19. Yeah, it's not even that high of a DC. As you're like whispering in this like kind of hushed discussion, you do notice the humming has come to a stop. As you kind of like look around cautiously. Oh, please do come in. Don't be shy. You hear a voice echo out from your north.
Whoa, you can.
Oh, I can hear a
talk?
friend.
This doesn't bode well.
No, it doesn't.
Well, certainly know we're
It's
here.
okay, they're friendly, you heard them.
They haven't attacked yet.
2 of the creatures
Stop.
slowly come out from the sides. The one at the far back, the one that you spotted, sat down, kind of stands up. You hear a low snarl kind of reverberate from its maw as it sidesteps. Kind of looks at you all. And what you all see at looks to be a table of sorts to your immediate north is a demon you don't know, obviously, but you recognize it, the type of demon. It's a Glabrezu.
I'm panicked.
The
Excuse
Glabrezu
me.
turns around. Yes? What can I do for you?
Little confused. We were investigating the cave because of cow deaths in the area. You appear to be a Glabrezu speaking in common.
I am. That is quite perceptive of you.
We thought we were dealing with a bunch of wild animals here, but we weren't expecting to find someone to speak. Basically, this.
Oh no, they're not wild. They're quite tame beasts. I would know. They are of my design. The Glabrezo kind of takes a few steps to the side and then actually places the short-fisted appendage onto the head of this beast and actually gives it a pat on the head. They are very loyal creatures. I made them that way.
What are they?
You made these?
Are you some kind of philosopher?
I would consider myself more of an inventor. And yes, to answer your question, Dragovian, I created these creatures. They are my steel predators. They are quite vicious, but extremely loyal. Although, some have kind of gone their own way. I'm
Unreal.
glad that you have dealt with the renegades.
Upon
they
hearing
were-
him say what she is, she kind of stops because nobody else seems to ever refer to her as such in this particular land. How do you know what I am?
Oh, I know of all of you, actually. But we have not actually been introduced as of yet. Please, it is, I would say quite, I wouldn't say rude, but unfortunate. And kind of like, just point out to one of you.
You'll
Carolina,
have to
his
forgive.
finger stops on you. Like, and you, young lady, please introduce yourself.
Well, I'm Coralina Isena Idra of House Ramiel. Could you not point at me, please? I'm sorry, I'm just a little touchy.
Of course. I'm surprised you all made it this far, actually. Oh, you have no idea how to truly deal with my kind, do you?
Well, I mean, I am a paladin. You are a demon. You are creating life, an affront to the very nature of life and death. You'll excuse my skepticism if I don't trust you.
Oh
Note to self:
no.
keep him away from Nefel.
Please do not trust me. We demons are tricky creatures. As a perfectly good example, Coralina Esina Idra of House Ramiel, prostrate yourself. I need you to go make a charisma saving throw at disadvantage, please, Coralina.
Oh, balls.
14. No. You all watch as Coralina immediately drops to all fours, her face immediately into the dirt. You are too trusting. You may rise, Coralina. Please forgive me. I must compose oneself. You feel the
It's terrifying.
you feel the effect of what you just experienced, Carolina. Oh, it felt as if a massive weight was just immediately put onto your back and forced you into the ground. And before he said you may stand, it's felt like that weight has been on your back this entire time. One thing that you must understand about...
Took a couple steps back.
Oh, do not worry. I will not do such a thing to you again. Well, not to you, anyway. But now, who's next? Let's see. Kind of, points to you,
Ooh.
Nethtare.
Me.
And points to Nethtare. And what of you, sir? Please introduce yourself.
No, I've seen what happens when we tell you our names.
And
Oh,
what
is
of
it
you,
you,
Metal
Marcel?
Man? What of you, Metal Man? What say you? Will you introduce yourself to me?
Yes. My name is Glabrezu.
Oh, very unoriginal of you, but wise nonetheless. And you two at the far back. Elf, what is your name?
I'm Kenjor of Denfasari.
Oh, that now. That is very clever. Very clever, but oh, I know that is not true. And what of you, Dragovian? Oh, what is your name?
She just crosses her arms and stares at him.
Good. A lesson very quickly learned. I'm glad. One thing that you must understand about us demons, devils, and the abhorrent creatures of the Fae, names can be quite powerful when you figure them out.
You don't need names to make someone do something. Why don't you grovel? I'd like to cast command, please.
Cast command.
On him. I want to make him grovel with the command spell.
Command spell.
Maybe I'll get lucky.
Wisdom saving throw of 13.
Not a lot, but hey.
Let's take a look. See here. 9 plus 7. That's a 16 at advantage. He passes. You kind of like you command him to grovel, and he's like, oh, but you see, a name means so much more than just manipulating the weave of magic to get someone to do what you want.
Look, you can say names all you want. Just knowing Ralkoff Overver's name isn't gonna help you win whatever it is you're trying to win.
Oh, but it will. Coralina Sina of House Ramiel, approach me now. Another charisma saving throw at disadvantage, please, Coralina.
Mm-hmm.
An 8.
Nope.
You are compelled to walk directly before him.
Coralina, halt. Can I cast command on Coralina, please?
Yeah. Coralina, go ahead and roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay.
"17. She saves. She's not affected by it. As Coralina, you walk right up before this demon.
I'm not as good as
Grab
this
on
as you are.
Coralina. If it was fast, I would like to try and stop her.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to
right.
assist with that. I'm not going to have let her get that far.
Move back. Go ahead and roll me a strength check. And you know what? Because Temple, you're assisting, it'll make it an advantage. Sorry, go ahead and roll a strength check.
So am I like, am I like just compelled to by any means necessary?
Compelled to do so, yes. 14.
Is it by any means necessary?
By any means necessary, yes. So
I would have popped. Yeah, I would have popped a conjuration.
Cool. So, with at the moment you put your hand on Coralina to stop her, she immediately blinks out of existence before you and reappears just before the Glabrezu.
Silly Glabrezu, you've activated my trap card. Victoralis now, surprise attack!
Oh, I wouldn't do that if I were you, because I have something very close to you and very fragile that I will easily break. Do not test me. And you watch as one of the pincered appendages rests very gently on Coralina's shoulder blades, surrounding her neck. Oh, listen well.
He's not.
I mean,
Are your intentions honorable?
Listen well. Be silent. I do not intend to harm your friend. My brethren are too stupid to realize the folly of their actions in following the real Kenjor. He kind of glances over into the distance to you, Victorialis. The strength of a name is paramount in regards to the weave. Being able to cast command, it's not really effective, especially against creatures such as I. But knowing a name, especially in regards to demons, devils, and the abhorred Fae, you can command creatures to do whatever you wish, and they're compelled to do just that. Coralina, Essina, Idra of House Ramiel, return to your friends.
This is an incredible
you feel his
lesson.
appendage lift off of your shoulders.
Am I compelled to return?
You're compelled to return to your friends. Well, you know,
Please.
go ahead. Another charisma saving throw at disadvantage first, actually. Sorry.
Yep.
A 6. Yep, you are compelled.
So I'm coming to the conclusion you don't mean to harm.
Oh no, I don't want to harm anyone. I'm simply in the pursuit of more knowledge and perfecting my craft.
Yet you knew he wasn't Kenjar.
Of course. Kendra is doing interesting work within the Abyss and is trying to convince many of my brethren to fight alongside him in order to cleanse this world, whatever it is he's planning to do. It sounds quite boring, honestly.
So you're not working with him.
No, of course not.
Then what are you
God,
doing
that-
here?
I am, again, simply trying to perfect my craft. And he takes a sidestep and like gestures back onto the table, and you can actually see what looks to be one of these steel predators mid-construction.
Why are you making these?
For protection, for fun.
For
One
fun?
gets very bored when you're stuck in the abyss for a few thousand years.
Yes, everyone's got to have a
I
hobby.
have a personal. You're creating these constructs. Do you know anything of my race?
Yes.
It seems I was created in a manner similar to the thing on this table. Non-threateningly, I'm gonna approach the table.
And as you approach, the steel predator that was right before you does snarl at you as you like kind of go past the Glabrazu. The Glabrazu just kind of pats it on the head again, and it calms down. Of course, the Warforged you were built in time with war. It's not the same type of construction, I'm afraid. You are humanoid. You are truly sentient. My creatures at the moment are only sapient. They understand orders and know how to fight to survive. But that is about it, I'm afraid.
So how many of these
Does
have
it-
you got?
Oh, I have, well, 2 less now, but I have 2 more on the way. Don't you worry, they are being replaced
they
quite
have-
quickly.
Do they have souls, or are they merely constructs?
Oh, they are purely constructed. You Warforged are unique. You are truly sentient. You have your own souls. My creatures do not, I'm afraid. They are very stupid, to say the least.
So you said that they follow orders. Were you ordering them to go and attack the cows on
No.
that farm over there?
Surprisingly, no. The 2 that you dealt with were renegades. They ignored my orders, and when I tried to dismantle them, they lashed out in defense and fled.
That would suggest free will.
I wouldn't say free will, more a will to survive, the will to hunt. They are beasts and they need to eat.
Is there anything we can do to help you make it so they don't go renegade? We figured out what went wrong?
Oh, yes. The few days that I've had to research their activities and hunting down the local wildlife, how they hunt as a pack, how they attack, how they kill, and how they consume the beasts. It has been quite insightful, and I was able to make modifications to the two beside you and my current favorite. They no longer have the desire to feast. They're constructed, they don't have the need to eat, therefore they will not have the need to hunt, just to do what I tell them to do. For example, he kind of like clicks his pincers together towards the two that are off to the side. Sit! And without hesitation, the two of them that are on the side sit down on their hindquarters.
So, how many of these are you making, and are you gonna hire them out or sell them?
I will figure out what to do with them in due time.
So you're making these and have no idea what you're going to do with them.
I have some idea. Do not judge me, Dragovian.
Well, the aforementioned Kenjo would trying to put stop to the cleanse. Some of these would come in pretty handy, I reckon, in what will probably be an eventual fight against him.
Oh, are you looking to potentially hire or purchase my creations?
Indeed, we are. I guess.
Perfect. Snaps his fingers, and what looks to be a piece of parchment and a pen kind of apparates in front of you. It's quite simple. Just sign the contract that you have of how many you wish to purchase, and we shall make the arrangement.
What sort of cost is involved?
Oh, the cost will come down to maintenance and how many you have. Let's say 500 gold pieces per unit. So if you wish to take these two off of my hands, that will be 1,000 gold. And then on top of that, depending on how much you use them, if they are damaged, I will need to repair them personally, as they are quite unique to my trade. Another 100 gold pieces each on top of that, if repairs are required, of course. So 500 up front, then 100 per tasking of repair or maintenance afterwards.
You're a demon. We don't have to sign our souls away or anything?
Oh, no, of course not. I mean, I could put it in the fine print that I could take your soul whenever I ask of it if you'd like, but no, it's just more of a, oh, what would you call it in humanoid? A mutual agreement.
Don't forget that he said himself demons are rather tricky. I wouldn't trust this.
Can I have an insight check, please? And can I ask for advantage on the grounds that I know this is a demon, I know not to trust him, and I know that words and contracts and all that mean a lot to demons?
I'll let you roll the insight, but it's not going to be at advantage because it is because in your research it's actually devils and fae that are more of the tricksy kind than demons. A 17. Surprisingly, because he is extremely different than any other demonic being you've come across, it's hard to get a read on him. He may be trying to pull a fast one, but at the same time though, he may be genuine. This is the first time you've interacted with a demon that hasn't immediately tried to eat you.
It is unusual. Do I recognize these circles on the ground? They seem to be summoning circles or something like that. Is that what they...
You could assume to be some kind of summoning runic sigils.
Gonna make my way forward at this point up to where Neftari is.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
gonna
just
follow.
Hey,
steady on before
Victoralis, do you recognize these strange
Nope.
circles?
Hold on. What did you just say there, Victoralis?
Neftari, hold off before you start
The
signing
moment
anything.
you say Neftari's name, the demon just, his eyes light up. Neftari, bow! Roll me a charisma saving throw at disadvantage, please, Neftari.
Balls.
14. You immediately just, hands by your side, legs together, and bow towards him. Oh, I am so surprised you've made it this far. Giving names out, quite the thing.
Say to Victoralis, you're supposed to call me Lord Neftari.
Oh, this is quite enjoyable. I'm having so much fun.
Can I? I'll just have a look over the contract, see what it says.
It's
That's exactly
very
what I'm doing.
It's
They have
very
his name in it.
Yeah.
it is very generic. It goes over the fact that you it has like a blank spot with how many units of Steel Predator. It misspelt as the translation isn't exact. Like how many you want to hire, the upfront cost of 500 gold pieces, confirmation that if any kind of maintenance or repairs need to be done to one or both units, it will be 100. One or more units, it will be 100 gold pieces per unit per repair. It like as you're looking over it at the bottom, it does have as it said, it has like an X sign here. There's little flickers of red light as Neftari is then scratched out next to it.
It automatically filled in. You mean?
No, it's just so it's just said X sign here Neftari. It's not actually like got your signature on it. It's just added your name to the contract.
I'm just kind of worried about if we can't exactly go into town with a couple of these creatures in tow, but they seem to have teleporting abilities.
They do. So what I can arrange for you, if you'd like, is you could sign the contract and make the payments, and whenever you have need of them, you could simply summon them to your side. I'm pretty sure I could create something and allow you to conjure them to your aid if you absolutely need them, or if you want them to go to a very specific place. I could most definitely send them on their way, and they would await your orders at a specific destination.
Would you recall them back to you?
As long as they're bound by the contract, they would no longer be mine. So if I were to send them to...
While this is...
Yeah?
Sorry, while this conversation is on, can I be carefully inspecting the mid-construction one? To be specific, I'm looking to see if there's an off switch.
Go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Okay.
I would be able to create the device to bring them back to my humble abode, if so needed. So you could summon them to you to aid you in a fight, or dismiss them at your will. An 18? No, there doesn't seem to be an off switch.
Well, Neftari certainly doesn't have any qualms about doing a deal with the devil or whatever. The demon.
So
I'm not keen on making any kind of deal with this thing.
oh, please. I've not put anything anywhere in the contract that states I'm going to steal your soul or consume you. That is too boorish.
Well, we are adventurers. Do you have a quest for us or anything?
Oh no. Any quests that I may have been able to provide to you, you've already dealt with the renegades.
That was a fierce battle. These creatures are tough.
Oh,
What
I
makes-
made them to be that way. Dare say to them, probably more powerful than I am. It's a good thing I've limited their intelligence and only given them limited sapience.
This contract, would it hand over control of these creatures to us exclusively?
Yes. Well, not to you, but to whoever signs the contract. If you all sign the contract, then you will all be able to command them. If only one of you does, then only one of you will be able to.
So only
what's the
those
catch?
named upon this contract would be able to control these creatures.
That is correct, yes.
But
Oh,
if
no.
whoever's name was on the contract said to the creatures, "Please accept my friend's commands as well," then they would accept.
They would not know. The contract is designed so that my steel predators will only listen to whomever is signed on this contract, regardless of whether you give them the command to follow the commands of another. If you wish to take control, if you wish to command my beasts, you will sign.
I'm not liking the
Trust
idea of
us.
signing a
Well, at
contract,
least-
but these creatures could be incredibly useful.
At least read the contract first. Maybe it's legit. This guy seems well spoken enough, even if a little bit feisty with the names.
And the
touchy.
two of you have, actually, Nestari and Victoris, you guys have read over the contract. And, looking over it, there is no fine print. There's no, I now own your soul. Nothing like that. It's just a very simple contract that states that upon signing and the exchange of gold, depending on how many units of Steel Predator you would like to take control of, whoever has signed will gain control of the X amount of loyal Steel Predators, which you can use as you see fit.
Do we
with
get
the
to name them?
expenditure of repairs and such. The Glabrazer kind of glances over. If you'd absolutely like to, naming your creations is something that you humanoids tend to do. As an example, and kind of pats the one closest to him on the head. Spike here is still currently my favorite. He is not for sale, I will say that.
So there's just 2 available currently.
For now, but if you would like more, I'm pretty sure that I could build more. One is in progress. There is another 2, maybe 3 I could build in a relatively quick time.
Do you take custom orders?
I can. It depends on what you would like.
Is it possible for Talar to look over this and see if she can see any kind of signs of maybe hidden words or anything like that, or something?
Go ahead and roll me an insight check.
Meanwhile, Temple wonders aloud if this gentleman would be capable of grafting a cannon to my chest.
A cannon? You are a strange one, Warforged, that's for sure. As you kind of look over at Solar, even on it with a 22, no, there doesn't seem to be any kind of extreme fine print. There's no potential magical invisible ink or anything like that adds any bullshit to the contract. It is a very simple, straightforward contract.
She hands it back over to Victoralis and says quietly to him, "I don't see anything on here, but I still don't trust this."
Me either. I'm not keen to provide any more names.
No, please. This is just a
Well-
show.
Well, if nobody else wants one, I'll take 2.
The contract is there. It is as plain as day. I will not, even though I will have your names, whoever signs. I will not use them. I will not call upon you. I will not try and devour you or take your soul or whatever it is that my stupid brethren do.
Someone got a pen?
There is a pen floating next to the contract.
Well,
Maybe you
Neftari
should
signs
write
it.
all that onto this.
Neftari signs it for 2 demons.
Snaps his
pursuits.
fingers, and the additional clause of not taking your soul and using your name and all that sort of shit is added to the contract. Perfect, Neftari. It is a pleasure doing business with you. How many would you like?
2 for now, but if you can make some more, we're going to need an army to go against this evil that's trying to take over the land.
We did literally come to this land for.
Exactly this purpose, yeah.
2, and they shall be yours, of course. That will be 1,000 gold pieces.
Okay, here you go.
Hand over the gold pieces. Perfect. Now, they will not be immediately available to you. I will need to create the device that will allow you to summon them or dismiss them at will. It may take a couple of days for me to do that, 1 for each.
It's understood.
Does anyone else wish to join the contract?
No. Talar walks a few feet away.
Oh, you're so boring, Dragovian.
She doesn't
know
even
what?
turn around.
But you know what? You're not boring. You're damn well the most interesting demon I've ever met.
Well, thank you.
It really is a pleasure. I go to shake his hand / claw. What was it, Mister?
It is, very clever.
Nearly got
very clever. Actually, seeing as we're now being friends, and as a show of faith that I will not use the names that I currently know against you, my true name is Trogdaran.
Insight check.
Go ahead, roll an insight check.
Anyone else?
Yes.
If you're wanting to make an insight check as to whether he just told you his true name, go right ahead and do so. 26. 12. Anyone else?
And as he's saying this supposed true name of his, she's going to at least turn around to look at him to watch his facial expressions and body language.
On a 12, you're not quite sure, Temple. Could be his true name. You're like kind of offset and like right next to him, so you can't really get a good read on him. Talar, from that distance, as you turn around and look at him deadpan, you can see the seriousness in his face. He seems to be telling the truth.
This is the strangest interaction I've ever had, truly.
And it will be quite unique. No other demon will willingly give out their true name, as giving out one's true name is almost relinquishing control of your own will.
Just to keep it a secret that you're here in this cave.
It would be beneficial for the time being, yes.
I must ask. I assume the money is for profit for more materials, so you can create
Yes.
more. Are you making a business out of this?
I won't be making not a business per se, but I will be providing mercenary machines to groups or adventurers who need them. Hired muscle, to say.
Well, I'm quite interested for us to try out your hired muscle. We may be back because, maybe we could cut a deal. These are, in our experience fighting them, incredibly powerful. Perhaps we would need a lot more of them.
Snaps his
enough
fingers.
For you to have employees.
Snaps his fingers and another contract apparates before you, Temple. the same one that Neftari's just signed. Oh, please take it with you. Think on it. Don't be too hasty in your decision. The contract is bound to me, so if you do sign it with however many units you would like, I will know and I will make an attempt at contacting you for payment. And then, once payment has been made, your commission will be taken on, and I will create as many units as you request.
Interesting.
Hey, Colin,
I will take and fold up this contract and
Mhm.
keep it with me.
Hey, Colin, are you sure you don't want a pet? Another pet?
Let's just stick with the two for now, Neftari.
This
and
entire
see-
time, Neftari, as you've been interacting with this demon, as you now kind of turn around and regard Coralina's presence, glancing down, you can actually see that she is currently grasping tightly onto your hand. The look on her face is not but pure terror.
Perhaps we should make a move, hey?
Well, if you are about to leave, oh, please give my regards to the humans and their pet bull to the north, that my creations will not be of no threat to them anymore. Thanks to you, of course.
That's all I needed to know. I put my hood up and begin walking back.
Don't forget, the contract is always available if you wish to sign it for more of my creations.
Bear that in mind. I'm just slowly making my way out of this cave now.
Before you leave, what was your name again?
Oh, you.
Not
Good
today,
luck.
demon. Not today.
You can't blame me for trying.
Talara's going to follow along.
You guys leaving?
I certainly am.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow my companions out.
Neftari, Coralina, what are you two doing?
Neftari apologizes next. He didn't realize that she was so scared. Did I do the wrong thing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Neftari, Coralina, Zina Yidral, House Ramiel. Once again, my true name is Trog Doran. We are now on even ground. You may even test it if you'd like.
No.
No. You are quite an interesting one, Janasi. But let me say this before you depart. I give you my word. I have given you my name. I will not use yours against you. I bid you good day. And Trogdoran slowly turns away from you, approaches the table, and you can hear some tinkering of metal as he begins to work on the steel predator that was lying on the table.
Take care. Thank you.
Of course. And don't be afraid to change how many you would like on your contract. If you want an extra 10 or 20 or perhaps an extra few hundred, just add another few zeros and we will work out the logistics later on.
Oh, an army of them. Just imagine.
No, just imagine.
I'd rather not.
Okay, is there anything else you guys are wanting to do here? You guys want to head out?
Talar is heading out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Nope.
Same here.
Alright, and Temple, you heading out as well?
Yes.
Alright, cool. That. Just bit back over to the overworld. As you guys exit the cave. As you're on your way out, the two steel predators that were on the sides there, they remain sat down. They just, even though again they have no face, you do watch as they trace you as you walk out through the cave, walk back through the entrance, glancing over your shoulder, not being too sure of their intent. Nothing seems to follow you. You walk freely out of the cave, back into the now late morning, soon to be afternoon air. It's about 11, close to 12 o'clock, as you exit the mouth of the cave and proceed back north, back towards the farmland.
Well, what a nice demon. They do have a bad reputation, don't they?
I think their reputation is earned.
You could see the primal core instinct part of him when he learned Coralina's name. It's like just his instinct to use that information snapped in, but very peculiar as demons go. And he knew of Kenjor.
And that's my biggest concern. He's aware of Kenjor, he's aware of his plans.
That
Certainly
in that room,
inclined to help
we
or hinder.
we were not particularly safe. We walked into that room and there was no guarantee that we'd have won should we come into a fight. If anything, given those steel predators' power, I would have argued that a battle could potentially have been in their favor. And, of all things, that would be the thing that would lead me most to trust this demon. Or at least that his own personal intent is greater than that of potentially doing something that would earn him favor with Kenjor.
Agreed.
I mean, we might just have been double crossed.
I still don't trust
Well,
him.
we'll find out very soon, Neftari, won't we? Because you just made an order and you've got next day delivery.
At least there's only one name on the contract.
Hopefully damage limitation. As Temple says, I guess we'll find out in due course.
I just get a funny feeling someone just walked over my grave.
Coralina, what that demon was saying about names and phase, do you have that same weakness that all of them do when your name is known?
Would I DM?
Go ahead and roll me an Arcana check. And you know what? Be advantage since you are proficient in Arcana. Oh, 2 10s. On 19. Well, everyone is actually at risk of having their name used against them. Devils and Fae primarily take names as part of contracts for power, gold, lust, anything like that. Demons tend not to take names. They are more of the demonic really types. They tend to just kill things rather than make deals.
Manipulate.
Manipulate, exactly. So the fact that this demon was manipulating you is interesting, to say the least. But anyone who provides their name to demons, devils, and fae.
I mean,
Are-
even a strong enough wizard, because if I keep studying, there's actually a spell out there that could possibly, I could know your name and summon you right to where I'm at.
Well, you know what this means, right? We need to start using our nicknames. Deploy nickname. Cat Scratch, go. Guinea Pig Wrangler, go. Tin Man, go. I'm sorry, Tala, I haven't thought of a nickname for you yet.
She just shakes her head and face palms.
Can my nickname be Lord Neff?
No, it's too close to your real name. We must now all begin using our vigilante name.
What was mine again?
You, Victoralis, you're kind of sneaky. You lurk about in the shadows and have a dark wit about you. You can be something beautiful that can fly in the night. You can be a Batman.
Okay, before you continue, I just want to know: are you guys walking? Are you guys just having this conversation just outside the cave, or are you guys walking?
It is my assumption that we've been walking for a while while having this conversation.
I
Is
agree.
everyone in agreement with that? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Good.
Because the power of nicknames is way stronger than the power of real names.
Oh,
Isn't that
no,
right, Batman?
Because
No, it's actually the other way around.
oh no, because I'm just gonna out of game here. Temple, you just said Victorialis's name.
Okay.
Meaning if we'd been standing still, somebody would have heard his name, blah, 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 blah. You get the idea.
Of course.
You
So
don't know
anyway,
if you heard it or
Batman,
not. So you're
And it
not
makes it
giving
worse
him
as
the
you say
nickname
my name
Batman.
too.
You're not giving him the nickname Batman.
I find it quite fetching, Temple.
You're not Batman.
am I the only one taking this seriously?
I think maybe you are just perhaps something a little more realistic, real worldly when it comes to names, so as not to arouse suspicion.
Oh, you seem to like that bow.
Let's
Why don't you-
all be Keith.
I've always liked the name Bruce.
I like it.
You're not
It has a
Batman.
lordly air. And you know what? Let's call our friend here Robin. I mean, Rob.
We could.
What, you're going to call
I can't-
Rob?
I love this idea of us all having just really plain, like, just Paul. Paul
we
the
could
Paladin.
Iron out the details of exactly what our alter egos will be on our
I'll write
journey
down a
back to
list.
Westron.
Hold on, did I just hear dice?
No,
Mm-hmm.
no, you did not. Please continue.
Mm-hmm.
So no, one thing troubles me. He mentioned he said he was surprised we got that far. Was he expecting us, or was that just because he sort of witnessed us fighting these beasts the other day, and he was, surprised we won or something? Or
Oh, maybe you should have asked him.
yeah,
Hold
maybe
on,
I
I
should have.
thought of a loophole. What if we change our names? Does it go
Yeah.
by a birth name or a given
Hmm.
name?
Currently, on
What
your
if you were
19,
adopted?
the answer to that is what you provide as your name, or what you know as your true name. It doesn't matter whether you change your name or not. Like,
Mm-hmm.
your true name sticks with you forever until the day you die. So Coralina Asina Idra of House Ramiel, regardless of whether you married into a different house or legally changed your name or anything like that, or just took on a persona, an alias, whatever,
Mm-hmm.
your true name is still Coralina Asina Idra of House Ramiel.
Because that's what I've been born by.
Yeah, exactly. So Temple, regardless of whether you change your name, Temple is your true name. Victorious's true name, even if you changed it to Bruce, of all things.
Well, who's to tell what that demon knew and didn't know about our journey? If he knows of Kenjor and the events in Akrai, then who knows what these demons know of us?
Are all demons bad? Because he didn't seem.
Oh, all demons are bad.
As soon as he found out your names, he was controlling you.
He was just having a bit of fun, teaching us a lesson that we shouldn't go around calling each other by our names. I think more than anything, he actually seemed quite agreeable to our code.
Mm.
I mean, he has a hobby and everything. He's like a geek demon.
Should I be offended?
I still don't trust him.
Well, what did we say? A couple of days until those beasts were ready?
I mean, does that mean we're just heading back to Western then?
I'm keen to catch up with this Silver Dragonborn, find out exactly what he knows.
I'd like to cast message towards Vic.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead. If you want to keep it a genuine secret.
Oh, no, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just the stupid thing I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
Vic, can I ask a favor?
This is just in your head, Victor. So only you can hear it and you can respond.
I'll raise an eyebrow in slight confusion as to why I've got this message coming through. Go ahead.
On the way back, can I ride up front?
Of course.
Okay.
A small smile develops at the corner of my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep looking.
Okay. So you guys are heading back to the horses and cart and making your way back to Westron, yeah?
That's what I want to do.
Sure.
Is everyone in agreement?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
Okay, well, with that, unfortunately, I know it's a short one, but with that, we are going to call it there for tonight. Last week, I am in the same boat as I am this week now. I am going to be up at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning for my work, so I do want to actually go to my bed at a decent time this time. since, you know, I stayed up until 1 o'clock in the fucking morning last week trying to finish off the combat. So I'm not doing that to myself this week. So we're going to call it early, call it here. It's about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes earlier than we normally would, so it's not that bad. But we are going to call it here for just now. If you have any plans, any shenanigans or anything like that, again, don't hesitate to post it in your little notes channel so that I can take a look and see what we can
I've got
do.
one that I'd like to discuss with Carolina as well.
And you know, you also have your DMs and such amongst each other if you want to do shit in secret.
Yeah.
But if you do have any plans like that, please let me keep me in the loop as well so that I can actually know what the fuck's going on. But yeah, what did you guys think of that? I know it's a little short, but
very interesting character, and as usual, lots of laughs and shenanigans, and that's why we're here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, just for the laughs and shenanigans, not the massive world that I've created and the massive plot line that
No, just the shenanigans.
I'm bringing you through, and you know, the ever winding and intricate story that I'm weaving here for your pleasure. It's not, you're not here for that. You're just here for shenanigans.
No, that's why I prefer Skyrim to Witcher. You know, more shenanigans in Skyrim.
Yeah, because in Skyrim, if you go up and like try and take a giant's, like tickle a giant's toe, and he hits you with the fucking club, and you get launched into fucking orbit.
Like what Temple does.
Except with a cow.
I like that character. I really like it. I really don't know whether we can actually trust him, but myself, I probably wouldn't trust him. But
of course you can trust him. Why would you not? He sounds absolutely fabulous and very trustworthy, even though he is a demon.
Lar has absolutely zero trust in him. Zero.
No, you need to lighten up a bit, Dragovian.
Not towards demons.
Anyway, with that, we are going to call an end to tonight's session. That is the wrong scene. I'll click on that one. But yes, in regards to the YouTube videos, my work schedule has been a bit of a dick recently. This week I'm getting 2 days off instead of just 1, and I'm not going to be all over the place. So I will get the 15th session downloaded, edited, and rendered overnight tonight for upload tomorrow morning. Last week's session, again, downloaded, edited, rendered, and uploaded on Tuesday morning. And then this session should be downloaded, edited, rendered, and uploaded on Wednesday. So over the next 3 days, we should have the last 3 sessions of the game uploaded to the YouTube channel, and that'll be us all up to date. Before we call a goodbye and end everything here, C Jackson 11B, I don't know if you're here, don't know if you're watching, but followed 11 hours ago before the stream even started. So if you are here watching, a massive thank you for the follow. It is greatly appreciated. For everyone who has stuck through listening to my bullshit, and of course all my players for putting up with my bullshit on a weekly basis. Thank you all so much for joining us. We will bid you a good evening, and we will see you next time, adventurers. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Right.
Night.